pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I would move to approve the minutes.
All right, second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All motion to approve appropriations. It's just slow coming up. 19.
I move we approve ordinance number 19.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I think my computer has a kidney stone. Okay, declare the public input session open for any items not on the agenda. Seeing none, do you have anything on the computer? That's the bench.
I have nothing. Thank you.
Okay, I have a couple items that I'd like to do. The first, the usual, I'll ask Sydney to pull up the dashboard for the health department. You know, on Thursday, they reported 12 cases, so we're staying pretty good. If you hit daily change there, you've got the routine down, you can see that we're pretty much staying in a zone of, we jumped up 13, 13, 15, 12, so we're not really seeing anything. And I remind you, that's for the entire county. The Harvard deal has not been updated since last Wednesday. So the reason why I'm not showing it, but on the map part, we're still in the yellow. So we're fine there. They just are not updating the data right now. I need to think they did that a week ago too. So I'm beginning to think maybe with things calming down, they're going to do it maybe once a week, and they're not. They don't know when we have it. So anyway, with that. So if there's some questions on COVID, we'll talk a little bit about it in meetings today. I'd like to switch to a video from Shiloh. He was going to come, but he had a thing, so I don't know about that hitting. Good morning, Stella. But anyway, go ahead and do that, and hopefully the light's right. Go ahead and run his response to what we had last week in terms of racism and other things. No. No sound.
You got the volume up. It's not talking. Airplane mode when I got this
Flying high, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Not gonna work.
I don't see.
Okay, don't know what the problem is, but basically, middle of the week, there was a response to the racism. They have taken action. If you go out, hopefully, you'll be able to see it on our website and on the school website. But there was action taken. It's unfortunate that these things happen. Two other things that I'd like to share is on Friday, I had a group of 4 students, a diversified group of 4 that came to talk about their school project and how to start a business here. And we walked through that process. They were the nicest kids. And very polite. Have thought through some of this stuff and the information that was provided me, both by planning and zoning, Virgil Lyon, and also from the police chief. We walked through everything so that they had everything that they needed to do the project. So, you know, I would just want to say there are a lot of good kids in the district, and it only takes a few to give us a black eye on this, and that's what the media is interested in. They cover any other things. The other thing was on Saturday, early afternoon, I decided to trim some of the branches out of my red oak tree. So I had not a real full load, but I had enough to fill the bed of my pickup. And I put all the larger branches that were about that big around on top to hold everything down. Well, if you were out Saturday afternoon, blow the toupee off your head. That's why I'm hairless today. But anyway, I got out to Pfizer, and a huge gust hit my truck, and I looked in the rearview mirror. All of the little stuff in the bottom was still there. The big branches were in the road, and there were about 10 cars behind me. They all went on the other side. A young boy pulled over, jumped out of his truck as I'm running back to try to grab a couple of those things. Are like 4 pieces. And another guy, about in his 40s, I'll say, and his pickup jumped out. And everybody else went on the other side. And the young boy said, you know what? It's a lot easier if there's several of us to grab these things and get them back in your truck. And I pulled in the driveway at Pfizer there. And so, you know, I just wanted to share the young people working on the school project, about a young boy jumping out. There are other people that went around me, but jumping out helped me get it all put back in, those 4 pieces put back in. And so, you know, it's totally unexpected. They have no idea who I am, so they didn't do it because it was the mayor. In fact, it's a good thing they didn't know who I was, because I should have tied down. That wasn't it either. Okay. So the idea is I wanted to be able to show, and it's out on our website, that we did get positive action at the school district. We had another protest on Thursday night, and that went very well. People have the freedom to say what they want, and sometimes we don't like that freedom if somebody else is saying something we don't like, but it's okay. That's why we love this country, that we have that freedom. And then I wanted to share a young boy had the courtesy to jump out. So should have his name and tell his parents, you know what, you're raising them right. So anyway, do good things. If there's not anything else, I'll declare the public interest session closed. All right, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll move.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I'll call on Jim Meyer, Board of Public Utilities report.
Good morning, Mayor, Commissioner.
Morning, Tim.
Give you an update on a couple of our projects on the Mohawk substation. Our crews continue to set steel and bus work. We got a lot of the 115 kV voltage section done for bus and the steel set. We're going to move over to the 35 kV section, start working on that, set the steel switches, insulators, and then put the bus up. So that's moving along nicely. I think the best thing about last week was Thursday, we got the North Loop line. So the 115 kV line that goes around the north side of McPherson put back in service. So that works complete really until we tie the substation in. And then we'll have a crew come back, or we may do it ourselves, but should take a couple days and we'll be able to go ahead and tie the sub in. So I think that project's coming along nicely. And then our water line replacement project on Main Street. I think you can see we got the 300 block open back up. We still need to do some concrete pours around Euclid Street. hopefully by the middle of this week, we'll get Euclid open back up. But they're actually coating off the 200 block on the west side this morning. They'll saw cut it. Hopefully by the end of the week, we should have the main in. Ideally, we'd have it in, filled and tested. I don't know if we'll quite get that far along. But we have 7 service lines to do on that block. I would think 2 to 3 weeks, 3 weeks on the outside, we should be done on Main Street. You know, it's been a good project. We've had great cooperation with the people downtown. Really want to express our appreciation for that. You know, now we have newer water line from First Street all the way down to Avenue A. So that section of the town should be good for quite a while, and hopefully we won't go on any leaks for years.
Good.
So the other thing, I might go over our operational report for the first quarter. And given February's event, it was kind of an unusual time. From a kilowatt hour sales perspective, it was actually up 1.24% over the previous year. From a cost perspective, from a power supply standpoint, our energy cost was 4.92 cents per kilowatt hour, which is 87% above normal. And a lot of that was just the February event. Last year it was 2.63% or 2.63 cents per kilowatt hour. So that event really did kind of skew things. Capacity cost per kilowatt hour was actually down 18%. And a lot of that's, well, all of it's due to the fact that we did sign up for Soldier Creek Wind Farm. We get capacity credits from that, and that reduced our capacity charge from Evergy. And then transmission is kind of offsets that. Transmission's at 14%. It's kind of a compounding issue there. We over collected in previous years, so we gave that money back to the customer last year, and then costs went up. So we didn't have or won't have that credit kind of going forward that we had last year, and we do have increased costs. On the generation side, we did generate a lot more than we did last year, which I think you were aware of, about 1,800% more. Last year, we generated 2 million kilowatt hours. This year, 40 million kilowatt hours. And then from a cost perspective, our cost per kilowatt hour for generation was 18 cents. And that's because we burn fuel oil. You know, last year the cost was about 9.5 cents. So that you can kind of see the difference there between natural gas and fuel oil. Fuel oil is a lot more expensive typically. During the February cold snap, it was not. Plus, it was predictable, and I think that's probably why we ran.
Well, thank God that we had a refinery here
That's-
where we could get 24 hours access to fuel oil, and you were set up in the conversion because gas prices, if we would have done like a lot of towns would have been through the roof.
Yeah, our over base energy, so that equates to, well, it was 18 cents a kilowatt hour. Natural gas, our over base energy was 70 cents a kilowatt hour. So that kind of tells you, I mean, the numbers are ridiculous. It's 35 times normal. So, but we got through it, and hopefully we'll move ahead. From a individual customer class perspective, residential, 6.6% of our sales. It was actually up 10.8%. I would guess part of that may have been the cold weather that we had. Commercials 8.8%, and that was down 1.4%. And then industrial made up 76.9% of our sales. Again, industrial does make up the vast majority of our sales. It was up 0.3%. So, or 0.3%. And then a cost per kilowatt hour perspective, residential 7.6 cents per kilowatt hour, commercial 8 cents, and then industry was 8 cents. One of the reasons, so for commercial residential, we're spreading that cost over 6 months. Industrial, we did not. So that's why the numbers are where they're at. But on the water side, a little more normal. Actually, gallons sold was up 0.89%. Lost and unaccounted for. Last year was a negative 5.2. This year it's a negative 2.7. Since we don't read the meters in December, it really does skew that number. But pay more attention to it at the end of the year. But I think we're doing okay. And then from a sales perspective, here we're a little bit more balanced. Residential sales make up 48% of our sales, and that was up 1.9%. Commercial is 23.1% of our sales, up 4.5. And then industrial is 23% of our sales, and that actually dropped about 5%. That's all I have for you gentlemen this morning. I don't know if you have any questions.
Tim, could you update us on charging stations around town? Are there any new ones going in?
Yeah, so 24/7 did put a charging station in, and we'd actually, reached out to them early 2020 to see if they had an interest in doing it. But it went commercial last month in April, maybe even the end of March. And so they're fast charge, and so they can charge up to 100 kW. So they have 2 chargers, and each charger has 2 plugs. And so if 2 cars pull up, it only charges at a rate of 50 kW. But if 1 car is there, it's 100 kW rate. So typical car battery, I think, is probably 50 to 100 kW. And normally you don't run them to 0 and you don't charge them to 100% because it shortens the life of the batteries. So, I think it was a great opportunity to work with local business. It's worked good, and they were good to work with. So, and now if people traveling up and down the interstate need to stop in McPherson, they can, and basically hook up to a quick charge.
Okay,
So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, I do think at some point they'll have an official public opening, but not yet.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, you bet.
Okay, we got, appointment, yeah, do you want to read it?
Yeah.
Uh,
There is just one appointment for us to consider, and we've been notified by the 9th Judicial District, Harvey McPherson County Community Corrections Advisory Board, that they would like to appoint Michael Golden to that to replace the current individual that served on there. And so if the commission would consider going ahead and making that appointment.
I'd like to move to appoint Chief Michael Golden to the 9th District, Harvey McPherson County Correction Advisory Board, and authorize the mayor to sign the document.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. You got more work to do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Golden was sitting over there instead over here, so.
Morning.
Good morning.
So I have your monthly building inspection report for April of 2021. Maybe. Okay, so residential units, which are new construction, are up 29% for the year as compared to 2020 at this time. Residential additions and remodels are down 31%. Residential other, which is general maintenance, water heaters, roofing permits, are down 8%. Commercial new are down 88%. Commercial additions and remodels are down 33%. And the total of all permits are down 17%. Cost of construction, we're still well down over the 3-year average. I think, the cost of materials and stuff like that has kind of slowed stuff down, especially on bigger commercial projects at this point. So there's some stuff that I know is down the pipe, so we'll pick up on that in the coming months, I think. We have issued 107 permits so far this year, compared to the 129 we had issued this time last year. 104 inspections have been conducted so far this year, compared to 124 this time last year. Some project updates, piping technology, they have their structure up. Half of it has been cleared for basically finishing work. They have the rough-in plumbing, the rough-in electrical on half the building, and then as soon as they finish that out, they'll finish the other half. So they're moving along at a good clip there. The Dollar Tree is pretty much done at this point. I hesitate to say when they'll open. I've had about 3 different dates so far, but I think the end of this week is what they're shooting for. So hopefully they'll be open here quick. John Manville, it's all just steel work at this point. Really nothing too exciting, just structural steel. And then the Oak Harbor Cottages, which are just down the street here at 400 Oak. They're 400 square foot, call them bungalows that they're going to be building. They're going to build 10 of them. They haven't started any work yet, but they have been issued 4 permits. So they're getting to that stage where you'll probably start seeing some dirt work and maybe some foundations going in the upcoming weeks here. And then with that, that's all I have, unless there's any questions.
I don't have, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Morning, everyone.
Morning, Chief.
There's several items for you this morning. The first one is 2 recruit firefighters getting sworn in and a promotion. The new recruit firefighters and the promotion have already been approved by the commission. Today, the recruits will be sworn in before the commission. A pinning ceremony will be held for Captain Headland. If I could get firefighter Amos and firefighter Ricardes to the front, please. Josh Amos, this gentleman on the west side here, is from Wellington, Kansas, attended Cali County Community College where he obtained his firefighter credentials. Kenneth Ricardes, gentleman on the east side, originally from California, comes to us from Saline County Fire District number 5, where he obtained his fire credentials. Both firefighters are currently progressing through our recruit firefighter program and are excellent additions to the City of McPherson Fire Department. We ask that Tammy Seelig, city clerk, please read the oath of office to him after she's concluded. We ask that both firefighters' families come up and pin their badges on them.
And that, as a member of the McPherson Fire Department, I will acting on my duties and with a sense of honor and courage, provide fire, rescue, and hazmat response in order to protect and save lives and property of the citizens of McPherson, Kansas. Our response territory. I recognize the badge of the office. As a symbol of public faith. And trust. And I promise to be true. To the ethics of the fire service. And true to the office I hold. As a member of the McPherson Fire Department. I accept this self-imposed. And self-enforced obligation. As my personal responsibility. And make these promises. Freely and upon my honor.
If you want to step this way, we'll congratulate you here. I think we have a number of families. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now we're ready for the photo.
And we'll let them come up and get their pinning done.
Put the badge on and get some pictures.
Congrats to both of you guys and welcome to the City of McPherson Fire.
My sister-in-law's over there. My nieces are in the first fire. This is my wife, Lillian. This is my mother, father, Jason Antlin. Done a good job with these two guys. Okay, thank you very much. Okay.
Okay, I asked Josh Hedlund, please come to the front, please. Josh Hedlund's being promoted from lieutenant to captain. Captain Hedlund started with the City of McPherson Fire Department on October 24th, 2016 as a recruit firefighter. Josh is and has been a rising star in the fire department. Josh's problem-solving skills, mechanical aptitude, and work ethic are unrivaled. Josh pays attention to details and shows excellent leadership on incidents as well as achieving daily duties. Josh is currently serving as a member on the Honor Guard and on the Apparatus Committee. He has been instrumental in numerous projects and is a go-to employee. It is my honor to promote Josh Hedlund to the position of captain. We ask that Josh's family come up and pin him. Congratulations, Josh.
We get a picture with the family together up here, with the captain, mom and dad. Yeah, mom and dad. Mom, Lily, dad, there.
Thank you, everyone.
What we're doing is, like, call on Seth. Please bring the fire dog up so everybody take a look at the fire dog.
Wants to talk to everybody on the way up too. doesn't he?
That's for everyone. Okay.
Okay, the next items we have, the fire department received a grant from the McPherson County Community Foundation for automatic external defibrillators. Fire department will have an AED available on every apparatus, no matter the incident, an AED will be available. Every year, over 350,000 people die from sudden cardiac arrest in the United States, making it the leading cause of death in the country. That is equivalent to one death every 90 seconds. Defibrillation is the only therapy to treat someone in cardiac arrest. Every minute a person in sudden cardiac arrest does not receive defibrillation, changes their survival, drops their survival by 7 to 10%, making rapid defibrillation imperative for survival and one of the key steps in saving life in sudden cardiac arrest. With that, we are requesting a motion to accept an AED grant from McPherson County Community Foundation for an amount not to exceed $2,766.
I'd like to move to accept the AED grant from the Person County Community Foundation for amount not to exceed $2,766.
I second that motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye. The next item, with the grant being accepted, the fire department's requesting to utilize grant funds to purchase 3 AEDs from Coast Biomedical Equipment for an amount not to exceed $2,625 plus shipping, and they estimated the shipping to be $30, but we left it open because it's plus shipping.
Purchase 3 AED associated post biomedical equipment for amount not to exceed $2,625. At this time, it's $30.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It probably won't go up by much if it does.
400.
Yes, we are. Recent technical rescue training included an inspection on our equipment inventory. The rescue equipment was inspected by a third party for compliance and Occupational Safety and Health Administration OSHA standards. 3 out of the 7 harnesses failed to meet compliance due to damage or age. A Yates multi-use anchor strap and 6 helmets were also found to be out of compliance. We received a quote to replace the harness and anchor strap from Rocco Rescue for an amount of $2,111.47, and then a quote from PK Safety for helmets for $599.70. We're requesting a motion to replace the equipment to bring our rescue team back to operational status for an amount not to exceed $2,711.17.
Approved purchase of 3 harnesses and a Yates multi-use anchor strap from for the amount not to exceed $2,100. Rescue helmets for the amount not to exceed $570 from PK for a total amount $2,770.17.
I second that motion.
Correct.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Chief Golden.
Morning, Mayor, Commissioners.
Morning.
National Police Week honors the service and sacrifice of U.S. law enforcement officers across the U.S. In recognition of our officers' service to McPherson and the officers we lost decades ago, each of you, as well as community members, are invited to attend a brief ceremony on Friday, May 14th, 2021 at 8:30 in the morning at the McPherson Cemetery. Wreaths will be laid at the graves of 2 local police officers who were killed in the line of duty in McPherson. The ceremony will also be shared on social media. In recognition of this week, I am also requesting a proclamation naming the week of May 9th through the 15th of 2021 as Police Week and May 15th, 2021 as Peace Officers Memorial Day. I have included a proclamation as well with that, if the mayor would read.
We designate the week of May 9th to 15th, 2021 as Police Week and May 15th, 2021 as Peace Officers Memorial Day, whereas in 1962, President John F. Kennedy signed a proclamation which designated May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day, in the week in which that date falls as Police Week. Whereas in 1994, President Bill Clinton amended the proclamation directing all government buildings fly the flag of the United States at half-staff in recognition of those peace officers who have fallen in the line of duty. Whereas law enforcement is a vital public service, whereas members of law enforcement are ready to put their lives on the line to protect citizens' lives, families, and property. Whereas a law enforcement officer is killed in the line of duty every 24 hours. Whereas in honor of those 362 fallen heroes who gave their lives in 2020 in the performance of their duty, and 119 officers so far in 2021. Whereas to date, 24,872 officers have been killed in the line of duty. Of these, 314 were Kansans, 2 of which were McPherson Night Chiefs. I will sign this today as mayor. Is there a motion to approve this proclamation?
I so move.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Please sign it. Pass that down. remind us again, the time on Friday?
It will be Friday, 8:30 in the morning at the cemetery. We'll go to both grave sites of both night chiefs. But we'll be on the one on the east side first, which I believe, I think last year we did Night Chief Grant. So this year we'll start with the other one and then move over to the other. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Call on Wayne Burns, Public Lands and Facilities.
Good morning.
Morning, Wayne.
Have several items today. First one is Turkey Creek Golf Course purchase of scorecards from Burco Print and Promotions Corporation. Staff has ordered 20,000 scorecards from Burco Print and Promotions. The total cost after shipping is $1,235 and will be delivered in 5 to 6 weeks. May 19th, 2019 was the last time we purchased scorecards at a cost of $1,245. Turkey Creek Golf Course purchased scorecards from Burco 2 years ago and was not aware of this arrangement being locked in for another 2 years of scorecard services. Upon the expiration of this agreement, the services will be done locally.
I'll make the motion to approve the purchase of 20,000 scorecards from Burkle Print and Promotion Corporation for the Turkey Creek Golf Course for an amount not to exceed $1,235.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, the price went down a little bit.
Yes.
Oh, I hope the scores are right on the one now.
The next one is annual aerification. It's at the golf course. This is a budgeted item. Staff is requesting approval to pay for the annual spring and fall aerification. This is a budgeted annual procedure and is performed by Bill Barnes, Midwest Turf of El Dorado, Kansas.
I'll make the motion to approve payment to Midwest Turf to perform annual greens aerification at Turkey Creek Golf Course for an amount not to exceed $5,000.
I second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The next one is a seasonal position for the Park Department. The Public Lands Department is in the process of filling seasonal and temporary positions for the year and would like to recommend hiring the following: Kendrick Clay as a temporary employee in the Park Department.
I'll make the motion to approve making a conditional job offer to Kendrick Clay as temporary Park Department employee pending successful background check and additional testing effective May 17th, 2021.
I second it.
All those in favor say
Aye.
aye.
Thank you.
And Jeff will do Public Works report.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
The first item I have for your consideration is out of the engineering department. The engineering department needs to replace the computer for the engineering aid. The current computer has been having some issues, and Lee Burgess recommends its replacement due to limited stock and availability through IT's usual vendors. Public Works has searched online and Lee has approved this purchase. Public Works has priced a W480 Vulcan computer in the amount of $4,149.75. This computer needs to be a CAD workstation, resulting in the higher than typical price.
I move to approve the purchase of a W480 Vulcan computer for the engineering aid from Titanic Computers for an amount not to exceed $4,149.75.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next, out of the street department, the house at 211 North Grand is in the sidewalk program. This property is a corner lot and they're constructing sidewalks on both street frontages. The existing ramps are in fair condition, but are only 4 feet wide. The street department typically upgrades the ramps to 5 foot anytime the sidewalk is replaced. With the current workload of the street department, is unable to construct the ramps at this time. An estimate in the amount of $2,950 was submitted by JP Construction to remove and replace curb radius handicap ramps and sidewalk up to the landing. JP has done an excellent job in the past, and Public Works would like to move forward with them on this project.
I move that we approve hiring JP Construction to construct curb, radius, handicap ramp, and sidewalk up to the landing at the southwest corner of Grand and Euclid for a cost not to exceed $2,950.
And I'll second that.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like to give you an update on the East Lakeside Drive Street Reconstruction Project. The street department, in conjunction with McPherson County Public Works, is reconstructing Lakeside Drive from Maxwell to Kansas. The street department continues to cut grades, stabilize the base from Maxwell to the low water bridge to Simpson. The soil cement treatment was tilled into the roadway and recompacted on this section. So moving along pretty well.
What kind of shape did you find that road in, Jeff?
It was in
once you
terrible
started-
shape. It was much worse than we had anticipated. And that's why it's taken longer than we originally thought it would.
Okay,
But when we get done, it'll make a huge difference, last a long time.
okay, thank you.
Call Nick Gregory, administrative report.
My first item, EMS week, is the week of May 16th through the 23rd. And McPherson EMS would like to invite the McPherson County residents to come and meet EMS personnel, tour the ambulances, and also have an opportunity to eat. That event that they would like to hold would be at the McPherson Water Park parking lot. And the date for that would be May 21st, 2021, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. They are requesting to go ahead and use the parking lot. We don't see any conflicts. We've checked out, made sure that the date would be available, and water park's not quite open yet by then, so there should be no issue.
Approve the use of the person water park parking lot for EMS recognition day on May 21st, 2020.
I second it.
All those in favor, say
Aye.
aye. Did we have a proclamation for this, for next Monday?
I didn't send one, so,
But I'm saying we will get one for next.
okay.
Mhm.
Next item, just as a reminder, we will need to be moving the commission meeting regularly scheduled for Memorial Day, which would fall on May 31st, 2021. And the request is to move that to Tuesday, June 1st, 2021. And it's pretty traditional that we do that on a day after Memorial Day, and to let everyone have that long weekend.
I move that we approve moving the city commission meeting from Monday, May 31, 2021 to Tuesday, June 1, 2021.
I'll second that.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Good morning, commissioners.
Morning.
Morning.
Well, it's that time of the year. Hand these out to you. Out to the audience as well. What I'm presenting to you this morning is the 2022 budget presentation schedule. This Wednesday, May 12th, we will have the outside agencies that will appropriate funding to each year come and present their 2022 budget request, as well as some of their financial information, not only from the 2020 actuals, but their 2021 budget and then the 2022 request. So that should be a full morning on Wednesday. And then starting next Monday, after the completion of the commission and study session, we will begin the department head presentations on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and should be done by noon, hopefully each day. And so that's the schedule that you have in front of you. I've also presented to you, again, the budget calendar, just so that you have. Oh, okay. He's going to do double duty. So what I wanted to do real quick is just once again highlight some of the upcoming events related to the 2022 budget calendar after we do the 2022 budget presentations. The big event obviously will be June 15th, where we will have the value of a mill, which would be established by the McPherson County Clerk. And once we know the value of the mill, that's when we will start the budget work sessions. So from the 15th through, depending on how long that takes, we'll have a multitude of budget work sessions probably in the next couple of weeks thereafter. So if you're scheduling your vacation, I would highly suggest that the last part of June, first part of July is probably not a good time for you to be out of the area. Any questions? I will say that the department heads have worked extremely hard on putting together a comprehensive 2022 budget. What you will see in your budget books will be the normal budget worksheet, which has all of their line item detail and history of actuals for the last probably 5 years. The current 2020 budget or 2021 budget, and then the 2022 request. As far as the line item detail, you'll also have an explanation page that will have background on each one of those line items, particularly any of those line items that have a large increase or decrease. And then those departments that have inventory, you'll have a listing of that inventory. And the biggest part of that inventory list is the transfer into the equipment fund. So we're excited and to get the 2022 budget process started. Do you have any questions or anything that I can get for you in advance?
It looked like we were scheduled to receive $1.8 million as part of the American Recovery Program.
American Rescue?
American Rescue, yes.
Mhm.
Do you have, I'm not asking for an itemized list, obviously, but do you have any insight as to when those funds might be available and how the process will be to allocate those funds?
The deadline was today to be informed. We have not been informed as of this meeting, but with that initial, I'll call it estimate, may not be the right amount. So as soon as we get the right amount and we have a chance to work, we'll be able to respond to that. But as of now, no.
And then once that is, they have 30 days to get that to us. It comes from the feds to the state and to us until less than 50,000. And we get half this year and half next. So until we have money in hand, we don't necessarily know if the 1.8 is accurate. We've heard that there's some variation based off of their equation of how they calculated it based off of population. Yep.
And several cities in Kansas, we don't know. We're left off the next estimate, so there has to be in that category of under 50,000. The over 50,000 receive their money directly from the federal government. We are under 50,000 was sent to the state, and then the state has to pass it on, but they have 30 days to pass it.
Has there been any discussion of how those funds will be allocated, or is it, let's not make decisions?
My
Don't
feeling has
know what
been,
the
don't
number
make
is
a
yet.
decision until you really know what you're dealing with. It's been anywhere from much smaller than that to that big amount. And so you don't want to get carried away and then.
We have sat on a number of webinars that the Kansas Recovery Office has put together, and a lot of the questions that we received as it related to the American Rescue Plan is that they don't have answers, and some of those are going to come out with the Treasury guidance that comes out. The other thing is it's not as those funds actually can be. You have till 2024 to have spent all those funds as well. So there would be some long discussions and thought that goes into how those funds will be spent.
And it's my understanding you would receive half the funds this year and half the funds.
Yes.
next year also, so it's not being-
Correct.
Thank you.
As it relates to the 2022 budget presentation, I will present to you a spreadsheet that has some historical information of each department in the general fund and the ancillary agency appropriations, as well as some of the outside funds, so that you can see the history and a totality of what's being requested. Thank you.
Thanks for all the work, Ed and Richard and whoever else. Okay.
Yeah.
Utility easement to McPherson Airport.
Yes, the city of McPherson and McPherson County are both listed as owners of the McPherson Airport. We jointly own it. A water line easement's being requested by the BPU along Old 81 bypass and approximately where the airport is for their major water line project where they're delivering water from south of town. And they are requesting an easement from the city and the county. This has already gone to the county for their approval. And they're requesting that we also sign off and grant an easement to allow the BPU to go ahead and put that water line as it goes along. It'll actually be right along the highway, so it won't interfere at all with the airport. Should be no issue. And we'd ask that you go ahead and approve a motion to allow the mayor to sign that easement agreement.
I'll make the motion to approve the conveyance of a water line easement located at the McPherson Airport to the BPU and authorize Mayor Brown to sign all related documents.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next item is wages. We'd ask that the following pay memos be approved. Kyle Cottrell, Street Department, Equipment Operator 1, going from 1945 to 1984 per hour, effective May 17th, 2021. Gary Tillett, Street Department Street Superintendent, going from 3349 to 3416 per hour, effective May 17th, 2021. And finally, Kendrick Clay, Park Department, temporary, starting at $10 per hour, effective May 17th.
Move we approve the wages as read.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
There are four, let's see, there's four, and the numbers threw me off. There's four bonds for your consideration. The first one is Countryside Excavating at a Mound Ridge. They're requesting a $20,000 demolition bond. Next is Central Mechanical out of Wichita LLC. And that's $5,000 mechanical bond. Donald Leathers, doing business as Hometown Plumbing, McPherson, Kansas, $5,000 gas fitter bond, and also a $5,000 plumbing bond.
I'll move to approve the bonds.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Recess finish commission meeting to go into study session.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. That's the end of the listed items. Does anybody else have anything else? Okay, we're back in session. Study sessions are over and we are now back in commission meeting. And we have three items. The first one is the hiring of police officer, and the motion will be to approve offering a conditional job offer to Matt Dallaire as a McPherson police officer pending successful completion of pre-employment testing effective June 1, 2021. Is there a second?
You might as well go ahead and put the pay rate in it, so we don't have to come back
And
and
the
do that.
pay rate will be
$19.91.
starting salary of $19.91.
And I'll second that.
Do you want to add anything else, Chief? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the second one is a motion to approve the conditional offer to Matt Melton as a McPherson police officer pending successful completion of pre-employment testing effective June 1 at a starting salary of $19.91.
I second that motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. to 6-2. And would like to move that we remove the mask requirement for the community building and the municipal building, but recommend that masks be worn in both locations as a recommendation.
I second it.
Any discussion?
You're suggesting the mask be worn in both locations?
No, I'm just saying recommending.
Recommended.
All it is a recommendation,
Okay,
not mandatory,
okay.
right? All right?
Yep.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, any other business? All right, we'll move to. Friday, all schools.
Yes, that's correct. But that's fine. Yeah, well, we traditionally close on All Schools Day. You know, obviously, some of the events aren't happening that have happened, but there are still some events occurring. And we will go ahead and close this building on this next Friday, or on, what's this Friday? And yeah, the 14th. And this won't affect any of our meetings as Memorial Day does, but we will go ahead and close on Friday.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Did you have something before I said that?
Nope, I'm just going to second it, but Larry beat me to it.
There you go.
You just gotta get to the